If you hear the word public relations, what comes to your mind? Do you have an idea of what PR does? How about its importance to Philippine society? How does PR manage to make its way to the Philippines? To know more, let us break into the Philippines PR industry. For many years, as it is known, public relations serves as an essential part of the Philippine society, solving its most critical issues at the most difficult times. Mr. Jose Joe Carpio, the father of public relations in the Philippines, defined public relations as a management function that creates public understanding of what we are doing and promotes public confidence in what we are. To further understand the public relations in the Philippines, let us explore its origin and its development through the years.
PR has been practiced in the Philippines for more than half a century. The country is, in fact, considered as the Pacific birthplace of public relations, introduced by Americans in mid-1940s.
During this time, American Army regularly issued news releases to members of the Philippine media when it largely maintained the Western influence.
Public relations started long ago in America with a former reporter on Wall Street by the name of Ivy Lee, recognized as the founder. There was a lot of muckraking among corporations in America, and Ivy saw the need for these establishments to open their books and articulate their side to gain public acceptance. He resigned his job and persuaded friends to offer their services to corporations to do just that. They raised the level of press agentry to respectable levels, and they did so well. Ivy became known as the father of public relations in America.
Years after Americans brought public relations in the Philippines, the PR industry in the country continued as the Business Writers Association of the Philippines was organized.
So in 1947, the Business Writers Association of the Philippines was organized to promote the idea of corporate social responsibility and to underscore the growth of the Philippine economy. Through the Business Writers Association of the Philippines Awards, outstanding business persons were recognized not only for their entrepreneurial success, but also what is more important for their contribution to the community.
During the period of post World War II and after the American occupation, there was a need to develop the public relations industry in the Philippines for all the arising crisis situations.
In the Philippines, PR is a post-World War II development, and the beginnings were different. The two men who stand out as founders were prominent figures in advertising. Joe Carpio was chairman of the Philippine Advertising Councilors, and Pete Teodoro owned Philprom, or Philippine Promotions. It took them to realize that public relations was the better equipped and the more credible vehicle to achieve the ends of communications and image building.
After the Americans introduced public relations to the country, Filipinos started to make their own steps for PR in the Philippines industry development in principles and practices, helping PR grow into a profession.
uh, Public relations began as a profession when the Public Relations Society of the Philippines was founded.
Joe Carpio formed the Public Relations Society of the Philippines in 1957 and became the first president. Now he and Pete Teodoro were the leading lights for a while, but later left the leadership to younger ones.
Public relations in the Philippines continued to progress as the two pioneers of PRSP trained others.
Pete Teodoro trained under him Frankie Roman, who founded a PR advertising firm bigger than Philprom. and another one, R.R. de la Cruz, who put up another one that excelled in fundraising. Joker's boys, and unquote, were Oscar Villadolid, Sonny Valencia, myself, and Angel Santo Tomas. We stayed in corporate affairs. Two others, MC Tinsay and Rene Nieva, went into the agency business.
By the year 1962, the first annual awards began. It gives annual recognition to excellent PR campaigns that made an impact in their target audiences and the society. For example, Annual Gold Legacy Award of PRSP has been given to San Miguel Corporation for its contribution to the most critical problems of the society, thus the only company that won 5 grand anvils in 50 years of competition.
1966, San Miguel Corporation, one of the biggest Filipino companies and better known the worldwide for San Miguel beer, established the first PR department.
On September 21, 1972, martial law began under the presidency of Ferdinand E. Marcos.
I have proclaimed martial law in accordance with the powers vested in the President by the Constitution of the Philippines.
This caused distorted public opinions during this time. Thus, business institutions resorted to public relations and public affairs. At the time of martial law, there was a crucial need of public relations in the Philippines, and expecting its necessity in the coming years, education and culture paved way for PR and absorbed it to the curriculum. This occurred in year 1975 when PRSP planned a 4-year public relations curriculum ratified by the Ministry of Education and Culture.
There were no subjects in school when we started. We relied on our own instinct, and our own initiatives to do good in our jobs. I saw the need for it. And so the first thing I did when I became president of PRSP in 1975 was to get a committee to work with the Department of Education to create a curriculum for DSPR. That was done, and I saw it introduced in Arellano University, St. Paul, and Santa Isabel College. But to our credit, corporations soon saw and liked what we were doing and accorded the title of Vice President to the most senior practitioners. Mr. Carpio led the way to become SVP and a member of the Policy Committee of San Miguel Corporation. All PLDT, Citibank, and several others followed suit.
In 1983, Public Affairs and Relations made a new function which established cordial relations with the public and government. Media also made a strong impact on public society because of newspaper columnists and television talk shows. When the Marcos regime ended in 1986, the Philippines restored most of its constitutional freedoms, creating a new era for Philippine PR, which focused on the image and industrialization of the Philippines and its relationship with other countries. An example of this was the public relations project on the first ever expedition of the Philippines to Mount Everest.
During that time was in 2006 when I handled the account for the first ever expedition of the Philippines to Mount Everest. But this is all about a quest for the Filipinos' first time to reach the peak of Mount Everest. And during that time, there were so many uncertainties that the country was facing as well. There were so many negativities that came out in the news. And our objective during that time was to inject some positive news for Filipinos. And luckily, we were able to achieve that as a country, that the first group of Filipinos to reach the summit of Mount Everest were from the expedition team that we were handling. and it got the Grand Anvil Awards during that year.
The public relations in the Philippines went through a lot of history, which eventually led to the innovations of its ethics, practices, and principles. However, the success of establishing public relations does not come that easy.
Up to now, I think the challenge is how to really be able to come up with really good, very good content. That's always a challenge for PR professionals. We may be so equipped with a lot of connections to the media, being our conduits to the public. But even if we have all those connections, if we don't know how to create content that would be palatable to our target audience, then you cannot communicate effectively to this target audience.
Yeah. The challenges are essentially more in the tools and of course in the creativity.
The challenges became the stepping stones for the PR in the Philippines. We asked the PR experts of what changes they have seen in the Philippine public relations.
Actually, when you ask me the transformation of PR, there is no such thing. PR is forever. The PR during the time of Christ and the PR today is the same. The basic purpose of PR will never change, and that is to earn people's trust through compelling stories well told. What changed is the practice of PR. What changed are the tools of PR.
Before, you can be a one-man PR. You can survive being a one-man PR.
Well, during the pre-internet period, the challenge was entirely different. The challenge was to be able to write a story and have it published. You have to know exactly what the editor wants.
Before, we are just stuck into strategies related to the available traditional medium. It takes time. It takes time for a brand to be tarnished. Now, it is so fast, and sometimes even fake news is so much readily available out there to destroy your brand or to destroy a reputation.
Now, the continuing challenge to PR, this is the speed of internet. Quickly can practitioners respond to issues that concern them. Another recurring challenge is how to keep our reputation intact. We have to adopt a code of ethics with provisions that can be enforced. We have to stop the fat envelopes and the shenanigans who use public relations to destroy reputations.
The challenges now are basically technology. That's the challenge. How to understand technology, how to maximize technology. And then now, because of technology, storytelling is different. Now, storytelling now must create emotions in the heart and pictures in the mind.
There were a lot of changes that had happened in the industry. The medium has evolved over time, from the traditional media to the new media, but its function to do good and tell it well remains as it is. In this year, when the pandemic occurred, it proves to show that crisis persists in life. Thus, PR is always challenged.
The biggest challenge to us in PR, like everybody else, is how to live with the new normal evolving under this pandemic. We don't know when this will end.
After discovering the public relations industry in the Philippines, let us look into its role and significance to our society through the eyes of the PR experts.
With so many negative news left and right coming out, the role of PR has become more and more important as ever. Because the PR profession should be able to catalyze the negativities that are happening around.
I think among all professions, doctors are important. They cure the sick, and architects are important. They design big, nice buildings. PR practitioners are, to me, are even more important because they make the country better. They provide better quality of life by encouraging all companies, to give back to the community.
Breaking through the public relations industry in the Philippines, we have come to know that PR provides helpful projects to combat crises that may be in public safety, economy, environmental protection, and other crucial aspects of the society. With that said, here are the messages and advice of the PR experts.
Here is the practice of doing what is right and telling it the right way. It influences how people see things. It is a powerful weapon that can create and destroy a person and an organization, but must be only used for goodness. It plays an important role in our society by being utilized to build and maintain mutually beneficial relationships.
PR is a serious profession. Communication is a very serious profession because we affect the behavior of the people we reach. Now, that is why I always say, I do not want to communicate anything that has no importance.
But may I leave behind a few words? I might have dazzled you with the high-profile examples of what PR can do that is beyond your reach. I did not tell you that the PR function is divided into two. One is the consulting function. This is done by the top person in the office, the senior individual in the confidence of the CEO. The other half is supervising the day-to-day operation of your office. Depending on the size of the office, in other words, there are opportunities where you can compete and shine.
Know your passion. And when you already have it, love what you do. Love what you do because when you already work, it should not be about compliance alone. It's not about like, I'll comply because I have a salary, because I'm paid for this. Once you find what you love to do, and you've already found that the company you're working for is the company that would give you the security, stay there. Because you know why? The longer you stay in a company, the bigger that you get when you retire.
So my parting words is, as PR professionals, be serious of your profession.
Learn from my experience. A college dropout rising to some prominence. And then your membership in PRSP will bring you friends from other companies that can help you grow. Again, I say PR was great fun for me.
Public relations make the world a better place by establishing programs that help people. The necessity of the PR industry is extensively integrated with any industry, may that be political, economical, or social, providing a balanced society. Throughout the years of corporate social responsibility, charitable campaigns and telling good stories, and the likes, PR propagated goodwill and improved the lives of many, and that essence will never stop because PR is the past, present, and the future.